entered the Faculty of Agriculture in University of Peris in 1991 and obtained his BSc Honours major in Crop Science. He obtained his Masters of Science on Sustainable Agriculture from Kisetsart University in Thailand and his postgraduate diploma in Communication and Writership from University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. He joined the Department of Agriculture in year 2000 after working in the private sector over 5 years and worked in Hambantota district in the agricultural extension. In 2012, he joined the Communication Division of DOA and presently working at National Agriculture Information and Communication Center in Gannorua as the Director of Information and Communication. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Hiran Peiris on stage for your presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. So this is actually the time given is 20 minutes. So it's actually we have to go to the quick run through the urban agriculture and edible landscape. I just changed my topic because it's urban agriculture is more or less familiar as well as the edible landscaping. So I try my best to speak about the urban agriculture and landscaping within a short period of time. And I was informed a very quick information I got from Mr. Saman. So I try my best to give some information within the given time. So what is urban agriculture? There are a lot of descriptions as with urban agriculture, but the problem is the urban agriculture. Basically, why we are trying to develop or the familiarize the urban agriculture, because the urban area have a lot of garbage. So, and the same time, the urban people are very hectic, spend much tired at the hurry, so the speed. What I say is the not free life. So this is a good concept to adopt about the urban agriculture. So what is the difference between rural agriculture and the urban agriculture? This is the social context. The culturally homogeneous. Normally the rural agriculture they are using for basically focus on the economic sense. So homogeneous agriculture or cultivation, they are seeking for the profit and use many inputs, as well as they have a lot of extension service to enhance their knowledge, technical knowledge. So I not going to read everything, but as a summary is urban agriculture, who involved the urban agriculture gets minimum input as well as the technical support is very low. But the rural agriculture, there's a system to give the technology knowledge, as well as there's a system and the legal system to land use pattern. That is the difference, basically difference between the rural agriculture and the urban agriculture. And farming types, the extensively cultivation and micro units, intensive, because the urban agriculture mainly involved in their backyard or front yard area, as the previous speaker said. They have used the minimum place for the residents, as well as they allow some area for the recreation or their day-to-day activities. So what are the benefits of the urban agriculture is that the food security, increase the availability of fresh perishable foods. These days, many people, or almost all people, are discussing of the price of the our vegetables, as well as the quality of the vegetables. So this is the best solution for the all persons to get the fresh vegetables from their own land. So in many countries I have experienced, they are using the urban agriculture and the very, very small plots to experience the youngest, to involve the agriculture, and they are enhance their knowledge. And creating the safe places. And another benefits of you is the health benefits. Normally, we are not urban agriculture. Basically, we are discussing about the home gardening is the physical, mental, best mental therapy, because we can flow our mind when whatever doing any other work. But if we are going to plant a tree or plant a make a plant bed, we have to concentrate. What is the soil? What is the how we can prepare the dig, and what is the plant? How depth we have to use the plant? But where's the budding places? So we can't cover the budded place because with soil. So that we have to concentrate when we doing the agriculture, that is planting. So that is the best therapy. The agriculture as well as the home gardening is a best mental therapy. So it gives the many health benefits rather than giving the healthy food. Health benefits and the gardening reduce the stress as well, I said, and allowing immersion in the natural sense. And now, of course, many places we are going to test how to reduce the stress with the urban agriculture. So there are a lot of research papers mentioning they are using this urban agriculture to reduce the treatment for the dementia diseased persons as well as the other mental diseases. So it gives an exercise. Many people going to do their exercises in the gyms. It's rather than going to gym, is the best thing is doing something in your home garden. That is a good experience and good exercise for their health. So that is one of the biggest benefit from the urban agriculture as well as all agriculture activities. So and environmental benefits are they improve the biological diversity, urban greenery, and EL is the edible landscaping, helps to recycle the solid and liquid waste, microclimate modifications, nutrient recycling, noise reduction, reduced soil erosion, and enhanced pollination. So this is the concept that used the previous speaker also. So environmental benefits, he said that the man-made environment as well as the existing environment together. So we have to, we can create a greenery area with the urban agriculture as well as all agriculture activities to enhance their better, good environment to, as he said, the well-being. So other than other benefits, there are some economic benefits also. So they can produce their own vegetable or the fruits as well as the excess vegetable or fruits creates or enhance their economic. They can sell or whatever the exchange within their relatives or friends. So it's a good venture. As well as now of course this concept can be used for as tourism, agro-tourism. So depending on agriculture, we have already created three agro parks at Batata as well as Gannoruva and Sitaeliya. We experienced a lot of foreigners as well as the local visitors. They come and they practically involved in the agriculture activities, so they can get the that experience as well as they can get the fresh vegetables as fruits from that our area parks. So that's a good and there are types of urban agricultures. The community group-wise agriculture involvement as the community gardening farming. And small allotments, we can provide small allotments for community urban people, and they can involve come when they free and involved in agriculture activities, and city farming, in institutional gardening. Now, of course, the most of agriculture institutions, government institutions involved in doing some agriculture activities in their premises, and small and large commercial farms. And types of continuing the micro farming around the house, home gardening, backyard gardening, agroforest gardening, and front yard gardening. When previous speaker said that they keep some areas backyard at the front yard, so we can use this area for doing some agriculture activities. So, urban agriculture technology involves the edible landscape. Edible landscaping is now, of course, getting popular. So, that is the landscaping or decorating their gardens with fruits and vegetables, what we can use, consume. So, that is the good concept because it gives two aspects, that is the beauty as well as they provide the food for us. So, second is the hydroponic and aeroponics, vertical farming and organic farming, and bonsai micro irrigation. These are the activities or the technology involved in urban agriculture. So, let me discuss about what are the principles of home gardening design. Prepare a landscape plan. Basically, we know the sun rises and sunset, so it comes to the one direction of the proper direction of the environment. So we can use the time the sunlight we get. So public area, so the direction as the sunlight availability and the consider of the all existing objectives. That is the when we develop a home garden, we have to think what is the vegetation we have already exist in the garden. So we can prune and train the existing vegetation as well as we can introduce other crops or vegetables as we wish that not only the whole family, the wish of the whole family, we can introduce the crops. So initially we can identify what is the objectives as the existing perennial crops in the home garden. So principle of home garden design is the maximum number of different varieties and joint family member gardening activities because all members of the family can involve to various part of the development of the home garden or the urban agriculture site. The existing environment as a topography and the soil type. The crop selection is we can identify about the 4 groups of the crops. What are the crops? Some crops are shade loving. So we have to introduce the shade loving crops such as leaf vegetables, butsarna, artichoke and kiriala. They are loving shade loving crops, as well as there are some anthuriums like considered floriculture. And crops suitable for the lines, the colorful, we can use the guiding lines, some crops, lettuce, amaranthus, leafy vegetables and cabbage. So crops for the fence, to the peripheral fence, different types of the wing bean, avara, passion, long bean. Likewise, we can erect a fence or the structure and grow these type of vegetables to make a fence. Then screening to cover some area. We can use some vegetables to cover some area with structure or the long bean, maize, okra, because they are the vegetation. Somewhat the canopy is bigger, high, but not big branches. So we can use those vegetables for cover the unnecessary places. And there are a lot of arches, types of arches. We can see some photographs also. So with these arches, we can use bitter gourd, snake gourd, ash pumpkin, bottle gourd, such vegetable. These are the what I mentioned, the elavalu palavarga, kulubadu palaturu, alavarga, venadbo, siruma deval tamai me givataka tiene. So let me introduce some of the edible landscape. As I mentioned earlier, the edible landscape is the using plants and crops which can use for our consumption. We use these vegetables for decorate our area, as well as when they mature, we can get as our food. So basic components of the edible landscape is the hard landscape, so soft landscape, and themed landscape. That non-living components of the landscaping, we use the non-living components, and the soft landscaping we use plant used and there are trees, shrubs, and herbs that we can use introduce to the garden, or we can use the existing vegetation. And themed gardens is the we have the purposely we use for prepare as a with the theme. So these are the some decorations with edible crops we use in the Department of Agriculture. This is the Gannoru a park, and principles is the unity, the lines. If we grow a line, it gives a different sense. If we use the same crop as scattered, it gives a different sense. So that is the one principle. We can use a separate way to get the maximum feeling, as well as because the crop is edible, so we can use as a food, and gives the period of time, it gives the big sense for us. So contrast, the color matching, it gives the good sense for our eyes. So every time we have to use the contrast, the immature crop and the mature crop, the same gives the different feeling. This the next photo, it shows that this is the paddy field. Actually, not in Sri Lanka. The paddy field, they use the different varieties, different stages, the seedlings, mature, semi-mature. Use the same field they use for get the big picture. That is the edible landscaping. But it involves much much effort. So another principle is the scale. If we use the big scale, it's the activity. If the small ones want to play, it's definitely the second picture don't know without any invitation. Small ones goes to play. That is the scale. But here is they are not going to play, or they are just walking. It automatically control our mind if we use the several scales in edible landscaping, as well as designing of the garden. So and the balance is when we use dimensional the balance, it gives a good sense for us. And we can use the various structures, arches, to develop, and almost all crops are not these use are the edible fruits and vegetables. So that is the concept of the edible landscaping. But at the same time, we can create a big difference with the structures, and some examples. And beds, that is structures and the beds. Beds also, the dimension and the shape is very important, and the height of the bed is very important to get the eye catch. And, So it gives good feeling for the and various type of beds. These are some developments in the Sita area before and previous. And the third is the pots. We can use different types of pots and sizes, shapes, and disposable things. This is for edible landscaping as well as the urban agriculture. We can use the disposed containers as a pots. And the next thing is the growing towers. This is takes only the aerial space. They use small space in the on the garden, but we can use the aerial space very productively. These are the some structures we use for the growing towers. And especially the gardens, that is the botanical garden or the exhibition sites, we use the decorative structures with metal or wired structures. We train all crops to get the more attractive. And the next thing is the wall gardening. Now it's becoming very popular in Colombo area also. So we can vertical area or the wall, boundary wall, we can use various pots and doing our gardening. That is wall gardening. That's a good involvement. And bottle gardening also, this is using the disposed bottles as a container and the same concept. So based on that concept, we can develop various things and use the aerial area. The hydroponic is using the hydro without soil. So hydroponic is popular, so especially for the lettuce and the leafy vegetable gardening in Sri Lanka also. So this also good concept for especially the urban agriculture as well as decorated, edible decorations. They can use the verandas and the porticos. And the bonsai plants also the one of concept, but actually Department of Agriculture not promoting this one. Site management, whatever we are doing, the site management is very important because the crop needs nutrition as well as water, so training and pruning. So to keep the garden in good condition, so we have to prepare, think about how to irrigate and how to fertilize, as well as the manage the crop training, pruning, and disease and pest control. So this is the presentation I made very quickly for discuss or the present to you the given time. And thank you. And I would like to thank Mr. IJK Janaka, DD Agro Park Gannorua, because because he is in the Gannorua. So I just, because Mr. Saman said, I just take this responsibility to give some exposure to you. So thank you very much for listening and any other questions. Thank you.